Hello, everybody. Welcome to CAPI Live. Um, I actually didn't mean to push the button when I did, so yeah, there's that. I'm gonna have to reposition. Sure, hold on just a second, please. While I'm waiting on people to come on. There we go. That's much better. Let's see. We can do this just like this, if ever. Much better. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody had a good week. Let's wait for everybody to come on. Got one person on. Got 3 people on. Got 4 people on. Hey, Carly. How are you? Y'all tell me hi when you come on so I'll know you're here.
No one knows who this is.
I'm well, thank you, Carly. I'm very hot, though. Hey, Melissa. How are you? Did y'all miss me? Miss you? Was you gone?
They missed me more.
Oh, because you hadn't been on the show in a while. I hadn't noticed. I'm just playing. Of course, we missed you. Was you gone? I didn't know. I thought you'd been on here. I just playing. Of course, we missed you.
Everybody.
Hope everything is okay. Are you done with surgeries, Melissa? Are you done taking vacations in the hospital? Hey, John. I feel like there's a monkey on my back. I'm hoping to get it off of it. Oh, it's Dakota. Hey, Dakota. Dakota. Tell everybody hi. You can say hi. They can hear you.
Hi.
Weirdo. You need to go finish eating, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Nerd.
Nerd.
You're a nerd. John's here. Congratulations, Tom. Yes, congratulations to Tom Harris. Absolutely. Hey, David. Let's wait for everybody to get on to the channel tonight. Trying to get that closet out of it. Do nothing but the unicorn and the y'all. I know I look horrible. I was supposed to shave. I didn't have time. I had to cook supper for the fam. I had to go grocery shopping. Then I had to go get the groceries in the house. And then I had to put the groceries up. And then I had to cook. And I didn't even get to eat. I cooked and I didn't even get to eat. What the crap? Because I had to hurry up and get to the show. Didn't have time. No, thank you. You're too sweet. Look at you. Y'all, she just come over and offer me her food. Yes, had a bunch going on. Our house caught fire and my car died. Good Lord. When it rains, it pours, huh? We're going to talk about a family whose house caught on fire, too. Is everyone okay? Did y'all lose anything? I mean, other than your house, obviously. Did you lose your house? How does that work? What happened? Tell us.
Like, did you leave something on?
I love Dakota. DeCarly said, I love Dakota. She's going. She's got her hand on her chest going, oh. We wanted you guys to come out and play with the horses today, but
Yeah.
then when we got out there, it wasn't a good thing. So I'm glad y'all didn't. I will. We're going to wait for people to come on.
Yeah.
Where is everybody? Where is Beth? Somebody get Beth. Somebody get Eric. Somebody get
John.
John's here.
Oh.
John, will you go find everybody for me, buddy? Go share and find everybody. Tell them that we own. Hey, Dove. beautiful dove on it. Thank you, John. Just our bedroom. Everyone got out safe and we remodeled. Oh, thank God. Thank God. That is horrible. There is nothing fun and nothing nice about a fire. It just destroys everything. And the stuff that the fire doesn't touch, the water and the smoke do. So there's nothing fun about that. Yeah, we've got an awesome show tonight. I was going to wait for a little more people to come on to let everybody know, but we're going to be, we've got a few announcements to make, and then we have a favor to ask. And hey, Beth. And then it's downing here. Denowing here. Dewowing. Yeah, what does that mean? Is that raining? Is that what you're trying to say? The knowing. I think Dove is drinking a little much tonight. But we're going to talk about our sweet clients that they're having some issues. We're going to talk about snowing. Okay, that's what you was trying to say. Got you. I mess up on these things all the time too, Dove. You can keep that snow wherever you at. You can keep it. I remember you telling us where you was at, but I don't remember. But wherever it is, keep the snow there because we don't want it here. Snow is not welcome in the South. We don't deal with snow very well here.
I miss snow.
You miss snow.
Yes,
You're just gonna have to miss it then, hopefully. But yeah, we have an awesome show tonight. We're going to be talking about mental paradoria. Wait, what? Mental paradoria? What the hell is mental paradoria? Hey, Eric, there he is. Where's your woof at? Where's your beautiful woof? Yes, mental paradoia. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. We've talked about paradoia on here before, and it's an awesome subject. It's where people see things. Y'all know we've talked about that before. The brain has to have an explanation. Blah, 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 blah. Hello, Margot. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There's Michelle. Hey, Michelle. My beautiful Michelle. She's on. Yeah, I see her. But we're going to talk about mental paradoia tonight. That's kind of crazy. And y'all, look, I was doing some reading and going back on some of my notes on paradoia and everything. And y'all are not going to believe this. But what we're going to talk about tonight, the phenomenon of mental paradoia, what we're going to talk about tonight, I had a new client call me today while I was going over some research on paradoia. And the situation that I'm going to kind of put together for you guys tonight while we're talking about it is exactly what's going on at their home. How freaking freaky is that? She said she was going to join the show tonight, so she may be on a little later, or she may be on now, and I just don't know it. But yeah, if anybody's on right now and you haven't already done so, please go hit that subscribe button. We are still trying to get to that 3,000 mark. Once we get to that 3,000 mark, John, our team manager, and myself, Johnny, the founder, are going to go get tattoos of this right there, CAPI, the logo. CAPI with the sound waves. We're going to get tattoos on our bodies, somewhere on our bodies, once we hit the 3,000, and we're going to share that with you guys. You're going to be live there with us while we do it. So y'all get us to 3,000 if y'all want to see John and I go through pain and get a permanent mark of CAPI on our bodies. And once we do that, we can never leave CAPI. So John can never leave CAPI once he does that because he'll be branded. He's already signed in blood. So unbeknownst to him. What?
Also, this is a no-no. This is a no-no. This is a yes, yes.
Yes. Thumbs up, not thumbs down. Thank you. Yes, but we're going to be talking about that tonight. And I just thought it was so weird that I was going over this. And because I'd had a couple of people talk to me about asking me questions about, I get calls and text and messages and PMs and stuff all the time from people asking me questions about the paranormal. And here lately, that's been something that I've seen a lot on YouTube and on Facebook and on the messages that people have been asking me, have been sending me and calling me about. It's been all kind of geared towards paradoia. And while I was going over this, I started looking at the the phenomenon of mental pareidolia. And while I was doing that, I got the phone call for a new client. And because we get those all the time. Because remember, CAPI doesn't have to go looking for clients; they come looking for CAPI. We don't have to do that. But we while I was in the process of studying this and getting ready for tonight's show and all that, it hold on. Yeah, well, I guess he should have thought about that before he did what he did, huh? I don't have a problem with him being. Yeah, I guess he should have thought about that before, huh? Oh, well. You know what? I tell you guys what, because it's personal, and I'm not going to go into what was just asked of me or was just told to me, not asked. She didn't ask me anything. She told me something. And I think it's kind of funny, but I don't care. But not her, but what she was asking about, because it was Beth. And I never think anything bad about Beth because Beth is amazing. And plus, I'm very frightened of Beth. She can be very scary. So, Beth, whatever you say is what we will do on that in all subjects because I am very, very afraid of you. And so that's up to you. But you guys figure that out. Okay, team? Y'all do that. Eric, Michelle, Tom, Beth, and John, y'all talk about that. Y'all figure it out. If y'all want to reverse that decision, I'll go by with whatever you guys say. I'll go whatever you guys want to do on that. Okay. And if anybody on the team that doesn't know what I'm talking about, go to the team chat and see what she just said. If you didn't already see it, I think Eric saw it, but I don't know if anyone else did. But I'll let you guys decide on that, and I will go with whatever y'all decide on that. So I already know that, John. Before I even asked that question, I knew what you were going to say. So that's not surprising at all. So that's a healthy fear of getting hurt. Yeah, that's a big healthy fear of getting hurt. So, oh look, hey Katie, there she is. There's our sweet Katie. She says, "I say no." She knows what he's doing. I think everybody that knows the team and knows the show and all that knows what we're talking about. So, hey, I'm gonna put it in y'all's hands. Okay, y'all run with that one because it's personal and I was involved with it. I'm gonna just let you guys go with that. All right. So, and if everybody says yay or nay, and then I tell you what, here's what we're really going to do. Okay. Here's what we're really going to do. You guys talk about it, vote on it, discuss it. I don't give two rats rears how you handle it. Handle it. If you say he comes back to the show, then wow, you ate a lot. No, I don't. I can't while I'm on the show, baby. But thank you very much. Go see if mom can't eat it either. Put it in the microwave next to mine. Look, there's a plate already in the microwave, a paper plate with that on there. Dump that on top of your plate and just put everything in the microwave. Thank you, baby girl. All right. Go up, Paragiver. Go up and you'll see. But here's what Beth, does my vote count? Your vote always counts, Katie, if Beth says so. But here's what's actually going to happen. You guys vote on it, discuss it, do whatever you want to do, figure it out. Whatever if the majority says, I'll ask Beth, and whatever her decision is, then that's what we're going to go with because I'm just scared of Beth. Nobody on the team. I'm not scared of anybody on the team. I'm not scared of anybody, y'all. I'm scared of God Almighty, bees, and tomatoes. That none of those are human. Homo sapiens do not frighten me. I've never met a Homo sapien, and I met some big Homo sapiens, but I'm not afraid of any of them. I've never been afraid of a man or a woman until I met Miss Beth, and I am super, super afraid of Miss Beth. So I have to say I finally met a human that I'm afraid of. I love her to death, and I'd step in front of a bus without question in a second for her. But it also would probably mean that I was pushed in front of that bus by her. So so I am afraid of my Beth. I am, but I love her so much. so much. I wasn't talking about everybody on the channel voting. I was talking about everybody on the team voting. Dove. It's just a ongoing thing. So it's just an ongoing BS thing that's not even worth bringing up. It's something that happened on the show, and it got someone blocked because of it. So, but I can't discuss it right now because it would hurt somebody's feelings. So, but what?
Where did you want me to
Take
put
that
it?
ridiculous thing off of your head, or I cannot talk to you. And do not
Why?
condone your buffoonery.
Why?
Don't show it. Don't. What? What is your question?
Where did you want me to put the plate?
In the microwave. Take the plate that's in the microwave, the paper plate.
The 2 plates?
There's 2 still in there, so Mom hasn't gotten hers yet. Take the paper plate out, dump that on top of your plate, and put your plate back in next to Mom's. And then throw the paper plate away.
I already threw the paper plate away.
Did you dump it on top of your plate?
Mm-hmm.
And you put it in the microwave?
Not yet.
Where is it?
On top of the stove.
Go put it in the microwave like I told you. Dear Lord. Hey, Tom. Y'all, I'm glad Tom just popped up and said hello. Hey, Tom, this is Tom Harris, Beth's husband. Last night was Tom's 10th investigation, y'all. I actually think it was his 11th, but I could be wrong. But Tom, we had an awesome investigation last night, y'all. It was really, really, really cool. We definitely got some evidence on that one, so it's going to be cool to use and talk about and everything. But it is a law firm in Montgomery, Alabama called I forgot the name of the law firm. Shinbaum and John, Radar, help me out here, buddy. Where are you? You're missing your cue. Come on, you're supposed to keep me from looking like a complete idiot. No, we can say the name. They want us to. Yeah, you wasn't there last night. Oh, yeah, you were there. No, we can say the name. Remember, he said he wanted us to say the name. Johnny Carter says hi and good night. Hey, Carter, don't go to bed yet. Watch the show. I know Mom's probably telling you to go to bed, but don't worry about her. You can come and watch the show, buddy. I'm older and larger than your mother, so just tell her Johnny said it's fine. So you can come and watch the show. Don't worry about going to bed. And if she insists on it, then just go in your room and get under the covers and turn your phone on and watch the show that way. I'm telling kids not to listen to their parents. How horrible is that? But yeah, Tom is now a full investigator. Y'all, how freaking cool is that? John says, congratulations on your 10th. You're now a full investigator. But guess what else he is? Because he has also led an entire investigation under the tutelage of a team lead. He is, and another tutelage of a lead investigator. He is now a team leader as well. So he'll be getting his certificates very, very soon. Stop. He is absolutely going to bed. Carter, don't listen to her, buddy. She's so mean. She's like a warden in a prison. Don't listen to her, buddy. You can watch the show if you want to. Bless his heart. Thank you, John. McPhillips and Shinbaum in Montgomery. Yeah, we usually don't say the name of our investigations. Y'all know that. But last night I said we'll mention this on the show. And I said, but don't worry, we won't talk about where it was at. And he says, no, we want you to. We want you to tell people where it was at. So, yeah, this was McPhillips and Shinbaum Law Office in Montgomery, Alabama, where we were at last night. And Tom, that was his 10th. And he, Beth, will you, what is the word I'm looking for? Will you check on that? See what number that was for Tom. What is the word? I don't know the word. It just popped out of my head. But yeah, it was an awesome investigation. We definitely got some evidence out of it. We saw evidence before we even left the investigation. That was his 11th. I thought it was his 11th. I told y'all. I thought it was number 11. And then that's what I was saying earlier too, as I think it was 11. So that's awesome. That's his number 11. So he already had his 10 under his belt. And he led a team. Confirmed. Thank you, John. There's my radar. Thank you. Will you confirm that? That's what I was trying to say. And she did. That's number 11. I was right. So it is a number 11 for him. And he led a team under the supervision of a lead investigator. And he is now a team lead. So the next investigation or the next event we do, he'll be able to lead a team in that. So we're so happy about that. We're so close to getting a 100% on all of our team members. Eric and Michelle, where are you guys at? Was that number 6 for y'all or number 7? I don't remember on you guys. Remember, it's not my place to keep up with investigation numbers. Anybody that takes the class, I tell them that it's not my place to keep up with your time on how many you've done. It's your place. There's no way. I can't tell you how many people I've put through this class, and there's no way I could keep up with everyone. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to because I'm lazy. And it's not my place. It's your place to do that. Nobody kept up with mine. If y'all hear that in the background, it's thundering. It's about to storm here. So we're going to have some.
It is?
Yeah, it's supposed to. That was number 8 for you guys. Are you freaking kidding me? That is so awesome. What is that? Oh, it's one of those little slime balls.
Yeah. You guys want to see?
Sure. Show it to them.
Look.
Slime ball.
Makes weird noises.
That's number 8. So look, we got 2 more, and then the entire team will be investigators. Yay. That is too freaking cool. But guess what? Not long after that, we're going to be doing a class. We're going to do a class right after our break. By the way, y'all do know tonight is the last show of 2020, right? Everybody is understood on that. Everybody knows that. Remember, we go on break from January or December 15th to January 5th. December 15th through January 5th. We don't do investigations. We don't do the show. We don't do classes. We do nothing CAPI between December 15th and January 5th. That is our break time for our family. And the team probably will get together 1 or 2 times within that span as we can. But it's that we do that for the families. It's time for us to not have our weekends filled with Paige found a house. What? Are you serious? Oh my God. Okay, we're going to talk about that right after this. That is, oh my God, I'm about to cry. That's what we've been working for, y'all. All right, so I can't even talk now. That is just too freaking awesome. Oh my gosh. All right. Yes, this is our season finale. Tonight is the season finale. We'll come back with our 24-hour show next year, January. John, what is the next? Zero for me in class is a lifetime in experience. You can take the class, Dove. When is the first show? Is it the 9th or the 10th? I think it's the 10th, January 10th. Stop, please. I think that's when it is. But yeah, we'll come back with our 24-hour show. But tonight's our finale, so this will be our last night. That's why I wanted to have a good topic. Okay, now let's talk about what we're talking about right now. I can't stop it anymore. All right. As a lot of people know, the 10th. Thank you, John. That's what I thought. January 10th, we'll be back. As a lot of you guys already know, we have a family they were just not some random family we picked out of the blue and, found out they had a tragedy or anything like that. Because we're a paranormal team, not a charity team. We don't do that. But one thing that we do on this team, is once you become a CAPI client, you're not a client any longer. You're then a family member. And we take that super serious. There's no secret to the fact that I have clients calling me anytime between midnight and 5-6 a.m. in the morning. I've had clients call me at 3 o'clock in the morning. I've had clients text me at 2 o'clock in the morning. I had clients call me during work and during family events, and I always take time for my clients, always. We are always on duty with our clients 24/7, no matter what. If a client calls me during the break, I don't tell them we're on break and to call me back January 5th. I don't do that. I talk to them and we figure it out. We have broke our rule of December 15th to January 5th of going to doing an investigation before too, because we've had clients call us before and say, I can't wait. You got to come right now. Well, I don't know what to do. And we drop everything and we go. That's what we do. We love our clients and we're always there for them 24/7. Well, these clients, we were supposed to do an investigation this past weekend there, but a couple weeks ago, they called and said that, excuse me, they called and said, you guys can't come. We had a fire and our house was destroyed and we lost everything. Guys, our hearts broke into pieces. We pretty much stopped doing everything we were doing and kind of tackled that. Especially our most awesomest boss, Beth. Heavy rain there too. Yeah, we need it. We're a family, not just a team. Amen, John. That's exactly true. We are a family, not just a team. Let's see, Best back. God is greater than us. Amen, Michelle. So much greater. And that's what we are. We're not a team. We're a family. The last three words that we say to each other when we get off the phone, and the last three words that we say to each other after we leave an investigation and we're going to our separate homes and our separate towns, because the team, we all live in different cities, is I love you. That's the last thing we say. Because we do. We love each other so much. We are family.
Because we are.
And that's right, because we are family. And our clients are the exact same way, guys. I'm so happy. I'm about to cry. I'm so happy. But our clients are the same way. It's not just our team, it's our clients too. Hey, Cassandra. Yeah, long time no see.
Wait,
But when we found out that this family lost everything, guys, for the ones of y'all that don't know what makes this so much more, we would help them if it was just mom and dad. We would still be there. But what makes this so much worse is what time of the year it is, and the fact that it's not just mom and dad, it's mom and dad and 8 kids, guys. 8 kids, ranging from 5 years old to 17 years old. And that is, I think, the driving force that really kept us going on this, was because we did not accept the fact that, and they have no family. She lost her mom and her sister not long ago. They have no family, that they can go to or anything like that. And so we've been helping them out by putting them in a hotel, and not just our team, but other people too. There's been some wonderful people that have helped out. And I'm not going to go into all that because that's something the family wants to do. We'll thank everybody in the end. Of course we will. We'll do something and let them know how much we appreciate them and everything. But the family wants to put something together and say thank you to everyone. Happen with them first before the team does it. Tomorrow on 2 different stations tomorrow and talk about this as well. Then as well, because we need to get them some help. I don't know the ins and outs about. We've been trying to get them some money. That's what they really need. The community has really come together and given a lot of clothes and toys and trying to give Christmas presents and and what we were doing is all the cash that we were coming up with to give to this family was being, they were hemorrhaging money because it was having to stay in a hotel, and it's not a very good hotel. The people were really horrible about the whole situation. They didn't, cut them any slack on anything. They were just tragedies like this brings out some really, really awesome people. It really does. But it also brings out some pretty bad people too. And we've experienced a few people that were just horrible about this whole situation with this family. And it breaks my heart. It really does that people are like that, but they are, unfortunately. That's why I like the dead so much more than the living. But
he does
now that I mean, we were really working to get them some money so that we found them a trailer that they could actually rent to or lease to own with a couple grand down, and so we've been trying to get them some money, and now she just said that Beth just said that they found a home. They found a home. That is such a blessing. That's such an answer to our prayers. That's God working in His amazing capacity, and so we want to really praise God for that. And I can't wait to find out the. Some people are callous. Yeah, they really are. I can't wait to find out the details on the new home. So, and I also got a call tonight from a guy that said that he wanted to donate some furniture. So that's going to work out great. They found a home, and I told him, I said, yes, we would definitely, take that. We would definitely take it, but hold on. We're trying to find him a place to put the furniture first. And so now tonight, right after, not long after I get off the phone with him, Beth finds out that they found a home. And so now we can call him back tomorrow and tell him, yes, let's go, Beth. Let's do that. Let's let him know that we did find a home, or we didn't find it. They found it. I don't care who found it. I don't care if it fell from the sky after it landed on the Wicked Witch of the West. I don't give a crap how it happened. I'm just glad they got a house. So that's just freaking awesome, man. That's just awesome. I just thank you guys so much. Some of you guys have helped out. Um, some people from the radio stations have helped out. Our team has helped out. So it's just amazing how people can come together and be wonderful. So they would find a home before Christmas. Yes, I can't believe it will be January before he can give furniture. Okay. All right, cool. All right. Well, that January's not that far off. So we're almost to the middle of this month. So we'll figure that out. We'll get them some other stuff or something. We'll figure it out. I'm just happy they got a home. That's the biggest thing. So now we can stop bleeding money and start repairing and rebuilding their life. That's wow. That's amazing. That really is. Almost makes me wish I had commercial breaks on this. We are starting to look for sponsors, so we may be having a commercial soon. Sorry about that, but we gotta do what we gotta do. I've just been informed that we can start getting sponsors now about a week ago, and then a couple weeks ago, but I was going to delve into it, but then all this happened, and so I've been not really caring about anything else, but uh, that's amazing. That is so amazing that they got a house. I cannot believe that. That is wow. That is so awesome.
I don't get it.
And look, I want to give a little bit of a praise report as well. Guys, my team, when this happened, especially Beth, they just went nuts with this. I mean, they did. They went crazy with this. They've been. I have to say, Beth is the one on the team that when this happened, and she told me one day. I don't know if she's told anybody else, but she told me. She talks to landlord tomorrow. Pray, absolutely praying really hard that works out. But Beth told me that it was put on her heart, that she prayed about it. It was put on her heart that you need to help this family, and she did, y'all. Oh my gosh, she did. She's been on the phone. She's been kicking our butts and making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, and everything. Everybody on the team did something, and it generated stuff. I went on the radio and generated some money. John went on some of his friends and got some stuff for him. The Davises, they've kicked butt. Beth and Tom took money out that they didn't have out of their own pockets, and they also got on the phone to family and friends that they knew to help out too. So that's just awesome. It's just so cool. I love it when stuff like that happens. So that is awesome. All right. What's next, guys? What else am I need to talk about before we get started? We didn't do the class on the 6th because we didn't have enough people sign up for it. So if there's anybody, John's supposed to be contacting the people that said they wanted to take the class. I'm not going to fault everybody on this. I'm going to fault me on this one more because I kind of dropped the ball on it because I'd forgotten. that I didn't forget about the class. I just didn't realize that it was time to do the class until like the day before. Beth said, "Hey, has anybody signed up for the class?" And I was like, "Class? That's tomorrow." And so no one signed up, but I should have pushed it. I would have been pushing it a lot more had I known, but I didn't. So it's really my fault. Whoa.
Why did you say whoa?
Sorry, y'all. I dropped the phone.
Oh.
I had to get a drink. I dropped the phone and caught the phone, but then unplugged the phone. So I got to plug it back up. Hold on. Give me a second.
How did you catch that?
I don't know how I caught that. That was fun. That was cool the way I caught that. All right.
Oh, hold on.
What? What?
Say yes if Daddy's a nerd.
Say what?
Say yes if he's a nerd.
Say yes if I'm a nerd. No one's going to say yes. Okay? You can come on here and act like you can manipulate people, but you can't. So people love me too much. They're not going to do that. They're not going to just come up here and say yes. Just because you said say yes if Daddy's a nerd. So, get over it.
You should say he's
John said, yes, he's a nerd. See, they're not going to say that. They're not going to say I'm a nerd. John says, yes, I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
See, they're not going to actually say yes that I'm a nerd.
Guys, say yes again if you're saying it really.
Well, one person, Cassandra. Thank you, Cassandra. Really appreciate that. CAPI is the best family out there. I love you all. Oh, we love you too, Carly. Because you part of the family too, baby girl. Johnny Beth said she would be right back. Okay, thank you. All right. We're going to get the class started back up. It's going to be after the 5th, January 5th. I don't know.
Wait, is that when the CAPI camp's coming?
I don't know. That's what I was fixing to say. I don't know if we're going to do, if we can get enough people interested in the class, we'll do the class first before our next CAPI camp, because our next CAPI camp's not until March. Excuse me. Our next CAPI camp is not until March. So, and it's going to be in Troy. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting all stuffy and then runny and stuffy and runny. I don't know.
Stuff runny.
But our next CAPI camp is going to be in March, but I'm hoping we'll do a class before then. So let me work on that. John's going to work on the people that said they wanted the class before the end of the year. See, I told you she'd be back. Yep. Oh, the GoFundMe link. Thank you, John. Thank you so much. There is a GoFundMe link. Dungeons, is that what you just put up there? Yep. Y'all see the link that John just threw up there? It says gf.me. That's the GoFundMe link for the family. They possibly have a house. She's got to find out tomorrow from the landlord and everything if they can get that in there. But that, guys, that doesn't mean that everything stops. All right, we still need to help this family. This family still needs the help. Okay, this was not a rich family when it happened in the first place. Believe me, they're not rich. So they just because they got a house doesn't mean their need goes away. A big part of their need goes away, but they still need us and they still need our help and our prayers. All right, so we still need money for this family. They're probably going to need deposits to getting turned, water, power, gas, all that stuff turned on. Probably gonna need a deposit for the house, all this stuff. So that we're not out of the woods yet. Okay. I want this family back to their life. I want them back in a house with furniture and beds for all the kids and everything. And then we'll stop helping them, but we'll still be there. So, and maybe we're doing like an event for them or something like that. I don't know. We're going to have to work on some sort of event for them. But we will do that definitely. Yes, thank you, John, for that. That's awesome. If you guys can donate any money, John just put the link up to the GoFundMe. Just scroll back up, go to the link there. Just click on there and it goes straight to their GoFundMe page, and that will help out immensely. There's also on my page, there's a Facebook fundraiser on there. And if anybody does Cash App, you can get in touch with Beth and she can give you a Cash App address to to donate that way as well. Or if you want to do cash, you can mail it to me or Beth. And or if you're going to do a check, all you have to do is write the check out to Paige personally, and you can mail it to us. We're not giving any addresses for them right now because we don't. The last thing I had a donor in Birmingham that wanted to send them some money, and he did. He sent them a good little chunk of money. Thank the Lord, that was awesome. But I was specific. I would say his name, but whenever I said thank you so much for doing this, I would like to thank you on the show and everything. He said no. He said he does not want his name mentioned on the show or anything like that. He said I'm not doing it for that. But man, the commute's a killer. Is it? Hey Rachel. But yes, thank you guys so much. There's the Facebook thing that I was talking about. You can go to there and also donate there. So please, guys, if you can help this family in any way financially, that's really what they need now is money. Especially since they found a house. So we need to get them some money now till we can get everything turned on and get everything going and get them some food in the cabinets and some clothes in their drawers and some beds in the rooms and some everything they need. So this is a horrible situation, horrible for anybody to go through, and I know that we can make it better. So please, we love the money that jingles, but we would rather have the money that folds. So please, please, please go do this. Go help this family out financially. I know everybody's hurting right now. There's nobody that's got a whole bunch of money sitting aside, not being able to do anything with it or anything like that. The Facebook link is to Johnny Fundraiser. Yeah, it's called Johnny Fundraiser, but all the money's going to them. It goes straight to them. All right, it doesn't come to me. I don't want nothing to do with no money. My wife handles that. She sends, as soon as we get money, she sends it straight to Beth. Beth takes it and either deposits it or takes it straight to Paige. We have a pretty good check that guy in Birmingham wrote that she's got to give them tomorrow or Tuesday, I think. But no, it's got to be tomorrow, I think. But anyway, if you're going to be able to help them out, just contact one of us. Anybody on the team, contact somebody, and we'll be able to figure it out. I would like to extend a special thank you to Terry for his donation last night. He's an awesome guy. Yes. Thank you, Terry. He's the curator at the law firm and a couple other buildings that we're going to be doing investigations at, and he made a sizable donation last night too. We were talking about it, and we were actually talking about it, and while we were talking about it, he was kind of sitting off by himself, and I didn't like that because he's a client and because it's just rude. And so I said, hey, the reason why what we're talking about is I wanted to include him in it, and that's the only reason I said anything to him about it. I was just saying, I mean, I wasn't there pushing for anything. We were there to do a job, and that's what we were doing. But I was just letting him in on the conversation. That's it. That's all I was doing. And before the conversation was over with, he reached in his pocket and pulled out some money, and not a little bit of money either, and gave it to us to give to that family. And it went straight to Beth, and Beth is going to give it straight to that family. And that was just awesome. Thank you so much, Terry. He said that he might try to watch tonight, so he may be on now. So if you are on, I shared it on my social media. Thank you, Rachel. But yes, thank you so much to Terry for doing that. Yes, thank you for sharing that fundraiser, Rachel. Please, everybody do that, and also donate to that fundraiser or to the GoFundMe or to the Cash App, or if you want to send a check, just let us know. I would prefer the checks go to Beth, so just email Beth or private message Beth. And the only reason I'm saying that it should go to Beth is because Beth is really handling it. She's basically the liaison between the team and the family. And she's the one that goes to her and takes her the stuff and everything. And with checks and cash, it's best for it to pass through as least hands as possible. See what I mean? I mean, not because anybody on my team would do anything as far as, like money or anything, but like I was scared out of my wits when I had that check. It was a check and a little letter that he had wrote to him, a little heartbreaking letter that he had wrote to him. And I was scared out of my wits the whole time I had it. I didn't really breathe good until I handed it to Beth because I just knew I was going to lose that damn check. So I stuffed that thing down deep in my wallet, and I said, I'm not taking my wallet out for nothing. I don't keep cash in my wallet. I always keep cash in my pocket. But so I didn't need to take my wallet out for anything. I said, if I get pulled over by a cop for speeding or whatever, then I'm going to tell the cop I left my license at home. I'm not taking that wallet out of my back pocket till I get to Beth and then hand her that check. I was so nervous. So yeah. So if you're going to do like a check or cash, contact Beth directly and talk to her, and she'll be able to work that out with you on where to send that or how to get it to her. Y'all can meet or whatever. That way, money and checks need to go through as few hands as possible, because stuff like that gets lost. And you don't know how heartbreaking it would have been to me if I'd have lost that daggone check last night, because that went a little bit of money. That was a good chunk, and that would have killed me. I don't know what I would have done if I'd have lost that. But how will we tell if my friends donate? You won't be able to tell. Yes, please contact me. Yes, contact Beth. See, she just popped her email up there. That's a great way to do it. Go to bring you back on track. Paradoria. Thank you, Eric. No, you're not. I want to. This is more important. But Radar did. Oh yeah, Radar did that. Yeah, I'm sorry, it was. But yes, there's her email. So contact her if you want to do a check or cash. If that's what you're doing, if you want to donate a check or cash and not do one of the fundraisers, then contact Beth directly. And John did Radar, our little Radar, put on there bharris.capi@gmail.com. That's her email. Just message her, and she'll be able to set up a meet or give you an address to send stuff or whatever. That way, you see what I'm saying? I mean, anytime you can get as few hands as possible handling and passing and all that stuff, it's better. So let's get it straight to Beth. That would just make me extremely happy. Just as long as John doesn't shout chopper. Yeah, right. If you want her cash app, just contact Beth, and she'll get all that to you. So if you want a cash app, if you want to send a check, if you want to send cash, contact Beth, and then that way because that way it's going from you to Beth to the family, and Beth may even be able to work it out pretty soon to where it can go from, you can contact her and any donations can go from you to the family. So we'll work that out too. So yeah, that way we'll as few hands as possible on that stuff. That way nothing gets lost. So that would be just freaking amazing. So you guys please help as much as you can. I know Christmas is here, but it's like me and Tom said. You guys do me a favor real quick. Look straight up. Wherever you're at right now, look up. Now look all around you. You see that ceiling and that roof? Ceiling and the roof? You see the roof and all the walls around you? This family doesn't have that. That's what they don't have. And if it wasn't for the hotel that they were staying in right now, then they would be outside, because they literally have nothing. So they wouldn't be outside, y'all, because I wouldn't let that happen. Cash App goes directly to the family. Yeah, it sure does. That's Paige is the mom's name is Paige, and that's her personal Cash App. So if you guys, that would be the best way to send a donation. If you want to help this family out, whether it's $5, $500, $5,000, or $5 million. If anybody out there's got $5 million you don't even know what to do with this year, I would really like for you to send it to this family. I'm not even going to say send it to me. Send it to this family. They deserve it more than I do. If you got $5 million sitting around, you don't want to pay taxes on it next year, and you got to get it donated so you can do it right off, send it to this family. Call Beth, and she'll give you the Cash App, and you send your $5 million to this family. Okay, Dove, take care. Beth, $20. What is $20, Beth? But yeah, you guys do that. Contact her if you want to help her out. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So we've talked about the class. Yes, most certainly. We know how migraines are. Dear Lord, we know. John knows he has migraines, and it kicks his butt. It puts him on his butt quite a bit. So yes, please feel better real soon, Dove. We love you. All right, let's talk about what we came to talk about when we talked about what we talk about. I don't have anything else. I'm sorry. I didn't get any further. Sorry. I'm just kidding. All right, let's talk about what we. Oh, I'm not gonna do it again. Paradoria. Paradoria. That is one of the phenomenons that have probably Paradoria has probably started more arguments in the paranormal than anything else. It really has. Because people say, I know what I saw. And Paradoria says, no, you don't know what you saw. You think you know what you saw, but you don't know what you saw. So let's talk a little bit about Paradoria. I'm gonna try to get comfortable here. Hold on. Where's my battery at? How much am I at? Can I take this off? Yes. I'm kind of tethered to the wall here, but I want to get comfortable for this because I don't want to have to sit uncomfortably and hold this phone and all that stuff. Because somebody has my laptop. I don't know who, but someone has my laptop. So I have to use my phone. And it's very inconvenient. Hold on, I got to get a drink. And you can't see me do that, or YouTube will fuss at me. And so will Scary Beth. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Much better. If I can get this thing situated. All right, y'all can see me now, all right? Excuse me. And you can see the website. Man, seeing you guys work helping someone is inspiring, and we are so glad that we met you all. Oh, Eric, you're awesome. We're so glad we met you too.
Dad.
What is that? Thank you. You said it right there. I am lost, guys. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Did I miss something?
Right here?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm trying to go back and read, but I don't know what you guys are talking about. Good night, Dove. Just sing it. I don't know what sing it means. John yelled Eric for no reason. Mancini, I read that one. That one's good. I got that one. And Tom says, that's an odd coincidence. We just sold one. We didn't know who it belonged to. That was, where did that come from? I don't even know. Tom. I don't understand, y'all. Y'all are freaking me out. I'm watching from Idaho and I love your channel and what you guys do. Oh, Rachel, you're so sweet. Oh, your computer. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. You better not have sold my computer, my laptop. So that answers every question except for why did John scream Eric? That's the only thing I don't know the answer to. All right. So let's get into this, guys. Paradoria. Guys, I'll try and get it back. Yeah, you better try. Paradoria is the mind's eye making up something when it doesn't understand something. It's when we see a face in the moon, right? We all know that, right? Like when you look at the moon and you see the different craters and everything, and then you say, that's why they say the man in the moon, because we see this and we're like, oh, that's a face in the moon there. You can see the man in the moon because there's his face. I don't think the man in the moon would be that big, but I've never understood that. Even when I was a kid, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But like if we see a picture of something, and it's like foggy on a window or something, and somebody will say, well, look, I caught this entity on film. And you're like, no, you didn't catch anything. That's just fog. Well, I can see his face. He's smiling at me. No, it's pareidolia. It's the mind making up something when it can't explain something. Okay, Michelle, I will. Aubrey says hi.
Hi,
And
Aubrey.
she says to give you a hug from her. All right. But it's our mind's eye telling our subconscious what we see, even when it's not what we see. That was from Aubrey. All right. So that's what it is, basically. It's our mind's eye telling us we see something that we actually don't see. All right. And the reason, why does it do that? Well, here's the reason why it does that. The same reason it does mental pareidolia as visual pareidolia. That's visual pareidolia. Um, it does visual pareidolia because the brain has to have an explanation for everything that happens. It can't just knock something off to I don't know. All right. This is so awkward. Let me try to no stop. All right, the brain has to have an excuse for everything that happens. All right, it doesn't have a choice. It has to know something. It has to know why that face is in the window, or why that it looks like a smiley face in an orb, or why it looks like a man's face in the moon. It has to know why it's there. If it doesn't know why it's there, it will make something up. Okay, it'll make up something. It'll say, okay, that's a face, or that's a soldier walking through the woods, or whatever the case may be, on whatever evidence that you have. It is the mind's eye making up something from the brain, making up something and telling the mind's eye what it is, just so it'll have an excuse for it. Okay. That's the basic what it is of a visual pareidolia. All right. It's just us seeing something that we don't know what it is. So our brain makes up an explanation for whatever it is, basically. So what is mental pareidolia? Well, I had a question um, presented to me um, from a potential new client. Well, a new client now, um, and the question was, uh, my daughter sees, or I don't know. I'm not. I'm just going to paraphrase because I don't remember exactly how it went. Um, your brain trying to make sense of random input. That's basically what I said. Audrey said, "Oh, I already read that." All right, yeah. Um, so you're trying to make sense of random input. Well, yeah, I guess the cut and dry of it, that would be right, John. Your brain trying to make sense of random input, but it's still not so random to the brain though, right? Because the brain is trying to make up something. It can't just say I don't know. It doesn't have that ability. It has to have a reason. So it's not really, it is random, but it's the brain's way of explaining it away, explaining random away. So it won't be random. See what I'm saying? So that's what visual is. Mental is, like I said, this client was asking me the question. She said, one of my kids sees a dead relative and plays with him and talks to him and everything like that. Another child sees the same thing, but is not. That other child says it's not him. It's not who it is. It's not who we think it is. It makes me very uncomfortable. It makes me very scared. It's not who the other sibling says it is. It's something else. So her question to me was, can an entity appear or present itself, excuse me, as somebody else? Can it appear, can a dark entity come in and pretend to be Uncle Bob that died 10 years ago? Can a dark entity come in and pretend to be a child when it's not a child, or something, whatever, like that? The quick answer to that is no, they can't. We don't gain, and I've said this thousands and thousands and thousands of times, we don't gain any special powers or abilities when we die. All right. Same thing was, if I could sit here and tell you that an entity can present itself as something else, or an entity can present itself as, or it can read your mind, or it can, something just off the wall that it wouldn't be able to do as a human, then how would I be able to sit here and tell you that there's no such thing as sage working in the paranormal, or salt, or coffin nails, or graveyard dirt, or any of that crap? Because then that's me admitting that there is a magic there. There's something happens when we die that we have that ability now. We don't have any more ability than we had when we were alive when we die. The only thing that we have when we're dead is we're no longer walking around in this meat suit, right? That's the only thing that happens to us. That's it. When we die, we don't have a body anymore. All right. Like the old saying goes, and even a lot of science, the same science that calls paranormal pseudoscience, agrees that the soul continues after death. That the energy, the mass of energy and the energy form that we are, that our personality is, the it that makes us us, still continues, and it does. It continues after our death. The only thing that we don't have, and the only thing that we gain, is the ability to move around without this big meat suit that we're carrying around, right? That's the only thing that changes. So we don't gain any special powers to where we can present ourselves to something else. Well, has there ever been a situation where an entity has appeared as something else other than what it is or what it was? We aren't limited by our body, no longer limited by mass. Thank you, John. Exactly. That's a great way to say it. You're absolutely right. We're no longer limited by this mass. Our energy form is now free to go wherever it wants to go. And we're not, he's not going to go into a building and get his, bump his head as he goes in. Okay. Because no head there anymore. The feeling's gone. Everything leaves. It's just that energy form, that form of energy, that spirit, if you will. All right. That entity. That's all that's left. So, excuse me. We don't gain any special things. We lose some special things. All right. We lose the ability to walk around in this meat suit. So if I tell you that, yes, there's that ability to do this comes about, then I can't sit here and tell you that Ouija boards and crystal balls and sage doesn't work, because, well, if there is some magic there, then yeah, maybe sage can work to get a spirit out of a house, but it can't. It's ridiculous to even think that. It's asinine and ignorant to even think that a sage can work to do anything in the paranormal, because sage can't get me out of your house. The smell might, but the sage can't magically push me out of your house. So why would the sage be able to have the power to magically push my soul out of your house? The only thing that's different is I don't have this meat suit anymore. I'm not walking around in this mass anymore. Right? So no abilities come to us. Now, is it possible for an entity to show itself? Is it as something other than what it was? Is it possible for the entity to be a little ball of light, a little orb, and unless you're allergic to sage, yeah, right. But still, that's not. You wouldn't be allergic to sage if you were dead, though, because we're allergic because of our nerves and our sensories and that's neurological. So we can't handle that. Our nerve endings and our neurons can't handle whatever that puts out. Like me and tomatoes, I can't handle. Thank you, Eric. Great question. Eric says, "What about demonic entities?" We're going to get to that. Don't get too ahead. Don't go ahead. Get back on page 4, Eric. Every day we come into class and you always want to flip through the damn book. I done told you I will call you daddy. I done told you, Eric, I will call you daddy. I'll call you. I'm calling him now. All right. Get back on page 5 and keep up with the rest of the class. All right. So no physical reactions. Exactly. We don't have those reactions anymore. Our neurons aren't, like whenever I eat a tomato, I feel the delicious, juicy, sweet fruit in my mouth, and I just love it so much. Oh, I want a tomato now. But my body says, if you do that, I'm going to put you in the hospital. Okay. I'm going to make you so freaking sick that ICU will be your new address. All right. So, but when I die, can I eat a tomato? Well, no, because I'm an energy. I'm a mass of energy. I don't have anything to eat with. I don't have a hand to pick it up, and I don't have a mouth to put it in, and I don't have teeth and muscles and ligaments and joints and jaws and teeth, or already said teeth, and um reactions on muscular reactions to push it down my throat. I don't have any of that anymore, so I don't need to eat. So food is a nutrient for what? The body, right? Food is nutrients for the body, not for our soul. Food doesn't feed our soul, even though the book says it does. Food thought for souls, or whatever it is called. That doesn't feed our soul. All right. It feeds our body. It keeps our body doing this. All right. Then anaphylactic shock takes over. Exactly. So we no longer have that need or that limitation or any of that stuff, but nothing magical happens to us. All right. And none of your Indian and folklore crap is going to happen to us either. All right. So, but now still stands the question, can a ghost do that? Can an entity show itself as something other than what it actually is? And like I said, the quick answer to that is no. All right. Well, Johnny, just don't answer the mathematical problem. Explain your work. Okay, I'll do that. um, my answer to 2 + 2 is 4. My answer to can they do it is no. But now you want me to break the N and O down. Okay, let's do that. Let's break down the N and the O answer. No, they can't do that. They can't show themselves as something that they're not. They can't magically read your mind or move stuff without touching it and or anything like that. Well, they kind of can move stuff without touching it, but that's a whole different story. We'll get on to that one on the next time we talk about this. Hold on, let me get it. Okay, how about this is what we could mean. The person I know has never seen the man or rabbit in the moon or any images. Seen the man or rabbit in the moon or any images. Okay, how about this? What could it mean that a person I know has never seen the man or rabbit in the moon or any images? I guess he doesn't have an imagination. I don't know. That wouldn't be paranormal. Mimic. Yeah. Can it mimic that? And yes, it can. It can mimic stuff because we can. We can mimic stuff. But can it show itself as something that it's not? No, it can't. But how does that happen? Because then I asked that question, does it ever happen? Yes, it does. Okay, wait, Johnny. Wait. Let's go back. You just said, you're contradicting yourself here, Johnny. I got you this time. Oh, I got you this time, Johnny. You're done. It's over for your kind because you just said, and everybody will back me up on this. Everyone in the courtroom today will back me up on this. You just said with that tiny little hair-lined mouth of yours, having more hair around it than a possum does, and nothing on your head, just said that it can't do it, that a entity can't do this. But then when you was asked, has it ever happened? You said yes. You just lied. You contradicted yourself. I got you right where I want you now. You have no response to that. Wait. Yes, I do have a response to that. I was just about to say that I believe you can see a rabbit in the moon or Bambi. Moon on Bambi. See a rabbit in the moon on Bambi or Bambi. I don't know. But yes. Is that entity doing that? No, it's not. It's not doing that. Okay. Now, can an entity know the energy that it needs to display to present itself in a certain way? Absolutely, it can. I think that's something that takes a lot of knowledge and a lot of practice on their part, and a lot of concentration and will and all that stuff. But yes, it can do that. It can it can learn the amount of energy. I corrected that. Yeah, I just was about to say that I believe you can see a rabbit in the moon. I think you meant moon instead of mood or Bambi. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that has a lot to do with, I shouldn't have used that analogy, but it has a lot to do with imagination. Some people can't do that. And that doesn't mean that they don't have that ability or pareidolia doesn't work for them. It just means that they don't have that imagination, if you will. Okay. But, how can you say that they can't do that? They don't have the ability to do it, but yet you say, has it ever happened? And you say, yes, it has happened. Well, then they do have the ability. No, they don't have the ability. All they have the ability to do is how much energy they use. I've also heard the crap about orbs being spirit vehicles. That's how spirits travel. Um, sorry, I couldn't help myself. Oh, you meant mood because you was pecking on him. I got you. Now I'm on the same page. Um, but see, now y'all talking about all this and get me all messed up, and I don't even know where the hell I was at. Oh, the spirit vehicles. That's the most stupidest asinine thing well, not the most stupid. I have to go with graveyard dirt and coffin nails first, but this is right up there in the top 10 of asinine, ignorant stuff in the paranormal that spirits need. Sorry, boss, my 14-year-old came out. That's why I love you, man. But why the hell would a spirit need a vehicle? Why would they need a car to ride around in? All right. An orbit's not a spirit vehicle. All right. It's not a transportation device for a spirit. They don't need that. All they are is energy now. They don't need that. They can go anywhere they want to go and get there any way they want to get there. And there's even hypothesis, which 98% of paranormal is hypothesized because we don't really know. But there's a school of thought and a hypothesis that says that they can even think themselves somewhere. Would that be possible? Well, yeah, because that's not adding anything to them. They're just energy now. Remember, they're not limited to what we're limited to. I can't jump from this room to outside without breaking something. I'm on the second floor. So I can jump through a window. I can go run across my room right now, and there's a window right across my room, and I could run and jump through that window and out onto the ground. Actually, I'm gonna hit my roof first because it's split, not really a split level, but there's a different area. Anyway, I would hit the roof and then I would hit the ground. And on this window here, I would hit a shed and then I'd hit the ground. But they don't have to do that. They can do that because they're just an energy mass. So that's not really adding anything to them. They're just, remember, they don't have to worry about going through a wall because they no longer have this to stop them. They no longer have this noggin and this chest and legs and arms and everything to stop them. They're just energy. They can, move that way. So, but that's not adding anything to them. It's taking that limitation away. All right. That's like me saying that I can walk across the road, but first I have to take the chain that's around my neck and tied to the house. I have to take that off before I can do that. So I'm losing that limitation. That limitation would be the chain, and now I can walk across the road. And the entity's limitation would be the body, and now they can pass into the spirit realm, the second parallel, or the third palette or plate. Excuse me. So um, if if they don't have that ability, but has it ever happened? How is that possible? They are using the amount of energy they need to use for whatever situation that they're doing, whatever they're trying to express or show or get across or whatever they're trying to do. That's the amount of energy they're going to use, and that's the type of energy they're going to use. All right. Um, so how we perceive that, remember, mental pareidolia. When we see that face in the box or the window and we take a picture of it and we see that face and we're like, look, there it is. There's an entity right there. I'm looking at him. No, it's not. We had one in Selma in an old schoolhouse that we did, and there was a picture of a box. And for years we thought there was a face on standing in front of that box, but it turned out to be a label on the box itself. And so it wasn't what we thought it was. It was a label, and just the way the light caught it, and our pareidolia kicked in, and okay, now suddenly it's a face, but it wasn't really a face. So that mental pareidoia is the same thing. When we see that amount of energy, or how we perceive that energy, and how our brain has to have an explanation for it. Now, if we're laying in our bed or playing in our room or playing outside in a swing or whatever we're doing, and we know in our brain, because we were there when it happened, that Uncle Bob died 10 years ago, or Aunt Hagatha died 5 years ago. We know this in our brain because we went to the funeral. But now all of a sudden we look up and we see Uncle Bob or Aunt Hagatha. And so our brain is then saying, wait a minute, that person died 10 years ago. There's no way they're standing there. That's got to be somebody that looks like them. Or if they come up and say, hey, I'm your Uncle Bob, or, or whatever the case may be, then that's how we perceive that. All right. So now I know what your next rebuttal is going to be on that. That amount of energy was used by that entity to tell us what we should see and to how to manipulate that mental pareidoia. All right. So I know what your rebuttal on that's going to be. Well, I heard of a case that a child was talking to his great grandfather and picked him out in a picture, and that wasn't his great grandfather. Or not that it wasn't his great grandfather. He had never seen the great grandfather because it was his great great grandfather, and he was long dead before that child was ever born. So explain that, Mr. Man. How can it be his pareidoia making something up when he doesn't even know what that person looks like? All right, that situation, yes, the entity did appear as what it was. All right, the amount and the type of energy it used at that point portrayed itself as what it was. All right, we don't have that bald head and mustache and goatee and fat nose and big ears and sunk eyes and fat chipmunk cheeks and more chins than a Chinese phone book. We don't have all of this. All right, and hair that can't decide if it wants to be. Y'all, my hair is not red. Everybody that knows me knows that my freaking hair, I know it looks red on this. Everybody that's only seen me on this show, you think I got red and white hair. I do not. I know this looks red. This is not red. All right, it's brown. I have brown hair. Okay, just throwing that out there. And as it gets longer, it gets whiter. All right, see, here's dark brown way up here. Then it goes lighter, lighter. Down here it goes lighter, lighter, white, 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 white. What's doing? It goes really white, like snow. See, there's snow. What hair? Shut up, Tom. I'm showing you the hair. You don't see no hair right here, Tom. That's hair. All right. I didn't say up here. I said down here. Smart ass. Talking about what hair? I see hair. This is hair. All right. I didn't collect anything. It's freaking hair. Tom's gonna be such a mean person. Tom's so mean. Yeah, it ain't his fault though. It's because his years and years of being scared of his wife has messed him up. That's why we call him the comic, because he's all kinds of messed up. He's been so scared of his wife for so long that now he's just like all messed up. And I don't blame him. I would be too. I'm so scared of that woman. Just one of the times that I see her, and that'll mess you up mentally, man. You'll get all kinds of funny and stuff. I see. He says true story. I ain't lying. I'm telling y'all just don't know Beth. Everybody thinks Beth is a sweetheart. Beth is she's. If you painted a picture of Beth, you would see a whip in one hand and a rein holding 7 two-headed horses in the other, and fire behind her, and she's in a chariot, and and she's dragging Tom by his something behind the chariot, and she's whipping, and each horse is Johnny and John and Eric and Michelle, and she's whipping them. And it's crazy. Y'all just don't know Beth. Y'all just think you know Beth. Y'all think your Beth is that lady in the office that is so sweet and brings everybody candy every day and everybody loves her to death. But when she goes home, she puts on leather and lace. Y'all just don't know. I'm telling you, there is no Beth. There is only Zool. That's right. But anyway, back to this. If it's okay with you, Beth, we're going to stop talking about you and start talking about what we was talking about. If that's okay with you. If it's not okay, just let me know and I'll go back to you. I promise you. I don't want to piss you off. But if that child, say it's a child and has never seen his great-great-grandfather, sees the great-grandfather, and then 2 days later tells his mommy when they're looking through a photo album, says, that's who was playing with me in the backyard. That's who I saw. And mom says, that's impossible, little Bobby. He's been dead for 40 years. I don't care how long he's been dead. I'm telling you, that's who I saw. That's the man I saw in my backyard. That's who was pushing me on the swing or throwing the ball to me. That's the guy I saw. And there's been cases like that. So you say, okay, well, then that just completely destroys your whole idea of mental pareidolia. No, it doesn't. The brain doesn't have to make up anything then, because I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep throwing my finger over there. But the brain doesn't have to make anything up whenever the entity shows itself as itself. All right. It's showing itself as itself. How does it have that ability? I don't know how it has that ability. Okay. Nobody does, but it does have that ability. Well, then if it has an ability to show itself as itself, then why would it not have its ability to show itself as something else? Because it never was that something else. It doesn't have that ability to change itself into something else. All right. It has the ability to be itself, to be that person, to give you that amount of energy that it takes, or that type of energy that it takes to show you what that image would look like. All right. I personally believe that if the energy is throwing a baseball in the backyard, that's a strong entity. It would definitely have a lot of energy. Yep, you're right. But it does happen. You know, an entity can throw stuff. I was cut on the chin from a picture being thrown off a wall and smashing into my face. I had to get 11 stitches in my chin because I told him to, like an idiot. So they can throw stuff. They can definitely do it, because the people ask me all the time, can an entity hurt you? And I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Of course they can, but I can hurt you too. You know, I can't make fire breathe out of the wall and burn your house down, you know, or I can't turn your broomstick into a serpent and it bite you and kill you. You know, I can't do stuff like that as me or as a ghost or an entity, but I can, you know, throw a pitcher at you, or I can throw a baseball across the yard. How much energy that takes is astronomical, but if it has that amount of energy, then yes, it can do that. All right. And I hope I'm saying this. I always try my best to explain stuff like I want it explained to me. That's why a lot of times when I'm explaining stuff, I say, I hope I'm getting through to you guys. I hope I'm showing you what I'm talking about. I'm hoping you're able to see what I'm saying, because it is kind of confusing, because you look at it and you're like, well, if he doesn't have the ability to show himself as a little girl when it's actually an old man, but yet you say that has happened, then how is that possible? That's a contradictory. I mean, that's a contradiction to what you're saying. And yeah, if it was just that simple, it would be a contradiction, but it's not that simple. The amount and the type of energy used for that's like visions of field of dreams, right? um the baseball reference. Got you, John. But the amount of energy used is what we are going to perceive. Okay. um you're making sense. Interesting. It's interesting that I'm making sense. Is that what you're saying? That's very interesting that you're making sense, because you don't never make no damn sense, and that's just scaring me. I don't understand. That's why I don't like white people. Hell, that's why I don't like white bald people. Hell, you making sense tonight, and that's just not like you, because you usually really stupid. You've been reading something, hadn't you? That's what it is. Now that's a miracle. See, now Johnny's making sense. That's a damn miracle. Hell, that's why I don't like white, fat, bald white guys. Hell. But it was funny. You're making sense. Interesting. You never make sense. But the amount of energy used. That's why. Let's go back to that stupid, asinine, ignorant thing about an orb being a ghost vehicle. That's how they get around. This little white ball they jump into, and they drive that around the universe, around different parallels and everything. Parallel park on the second plate. They parallel park. Get it? Oh, I crack me up. I got 1,000,000 of them. Tipped your freaking waitress. But yeah, they drive this little white Prius. What we see when they're riding into their little white Prius, what we see is a orb. Sorry, my mouth was dry. Excuse me. Gosh, I must be full. John's been thinking a dangerous pastime. That's right. But let's get back to that. Let's go back to that. People ask me all the time, is an orb a spirit vehicle? I always chuckle a little bit. I get a little chuckle. And I say, no, it's not a freaking spirit vehicle. He says, yes, it is, because I heard it on television. Or yes, it is, I watched it on Ghost Adventures. Or yes, it is, I saw it on the internet. Or yes, it is, that's what Facebook says. Well, it must be true. Yeah, I wish they'd change that saying, if it's on the internet, it must be true to it mustn't be true. And if it's, I saw it on the internet, it mustn't be true. But and they'll ask me, well, why is that always in motion, or why is it moving? Well, first of all, it's not always moving. An orb's not always in motion. There's a different piece of evidence when it's in motion. When we see an orb, we say, oh, look, there's an orb. That's an actual orb. And then when we see a streak, we say, look, that's an orb in motion. Right? And just because you have a streak like we had last night doesn't mean that it's an orb in motion either. All right? It could be an entity in motion. All right? That's just what we were allowed to see of that. Like last night, what we got was not an orb in motion, although some people would look at it and say that's what it was, but it was not, because it changed its trajectory. It actually moved in a different direction. Like it would have been if it would have been going up these stairs. It did what it would have been doing had it had a meat suit, and boom. So, but that was just all we could see of that entity at that time. That's what an orb is too. An orb's not a vehicle for ghosts to ride around in. Okay. That's just all of that entity that we could see at that time. Is that little white ball is all we can see of that entity moving, because that's all the energy they decided to either use, or all the energy they had, or all the energy they felt they needed. All right. It's not always the entity's choice on how much energy they use. They might not have much energy. How many times, anybody out there that's investigated the paranormal, how many times have you been investigating? And everybody tell me hi right now, because it's telling me I have 3 people on right now. I think I got more than that. Everybody say hi for me real quick. Just everybody's on right now, say hi. Everybody, even the team members, everybody. So it's a manifestation of the entity. How high? Yeah, just everybody give me a quick hi, because I want to see who, if I really only have 3 people on now. All right. But if, yes, hey, Joe Briggs. Almost didn't see that. Yeah, I thought I had more than 3 people on. This does this sometimes. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't have to keep saying hi. I just wanted to make sure. I knew it wasn't what it said it was. All right, but well, if that's not an orb, if that's not a vehicle in motion, it says we got 4. It tells you 4. It told me 3, and then it said 6, and now it says 5. So I think it's just crazy. But an orb in motion is, what is that? Is that a vehicle moving so that the entity can get from point A to point B? No, that's just all that energy that one had. 5 on my box. Yeah, it says 5 to me now too. It went from 3 to 4 to, or 3 to 6 to 4 to 5 for me. So it's crazy. But that's all we could see of that entity. Okay, let's all right. Everybody knows what a green screen is, right? I think everybody should know what a green screen is. Like if you see a weatherman standing in front of a map and he's showing you all these different points on there, that's not really on the wall that he's standing in front of. Everybody knows that, right? I hope everybody knows that, right? It's actually just a big green wall that he's standing in front of. He's actually looking at a monitor offset in front of him that shows him where to point on the wall, or the map, if you will, because that's what you see as the map. He knows where to point, and it takes a lot of practice too to point to something. Because y'all seen me on here before, try to point to something, and I'm like, oh, it's over here. No, no, it's over here. You got to know where your finger's at because it's going the opposite direction, right? So, um, that's all. Just think of a green screen, and then a guy walks in front of that green screen, and he is wearing green all over his body, except for, let's say, a tennis ball sized hole is torn in the green pants that he's wearing, the green jumpsuit that he's wearing, and you can see leg through there. So you're going to see, let's say he's wearing white pants under that green screen outfit, and then he's got that hole in it. So when you see him come across the television, you're not going to see a grown man walking across the television. You're going to see a white dot probably going up and down, because his legs going up and down, walking across the set, or just moving across the set, just like that. That's what you're going to actually see, because that's what, and that's all he's showing you of his actual self. The rest of it's all green screen and green jumpsuit that he's wearing. The rest, except for that one little spot that you can see of his white pants. Same thing with an entity. Think of energy being that green screen, or actually the energy being his actual self. And then I'm gonna get to y'all's comments in just a minute, guys. I promise. I'm trying to get away from them right now so I don't get distracted. But y'all just keep talking. I'll get to them. I promise you. But don't think of the energy as the green jumpsuit and the green screen, but think of the energy as that white speck of his pants that we can see, that tennis ball sized speck of his pants that we can actually see. That's his energy right there. The rest of it is his inability to have that energy, his lack thereof of energy. All right. Everything else we see, which is green, that's just his, that's all we can see of him. All right. That's his, or that's the part of him that he can't show because he doesn't have that energy to do it. He only has this much energy. And so that's what we're seeing, is that white spot that we're seeing going across the screen is all the energy that he has. Same thing with an orb. That is all, the entire entity is there. The entire energy is there. All right. But all we're able to see is that one spot that he was able to energize, or he was able to use, or he was able to portray, or he was able to allow you to see. All right. So that's all we have is that, if that's all the energy that entity has, that's all you're going to see. That's what we see whenever we see an orb. We're seeing that amount of energy that entity either had or decided to use. All right. For that moment in time. All right. So what Tom caught last night, which was, I should explain that to y'all because I'll keep referring to it. He was taking pictures at that law firm in a staircase, and there was a streak that went up, like it was going up the stairs and then turning to go down a hallway. And so a lot of people would look at that and they would be like, okay, that's an entity, or that's an orb in motion. All right. When he showed it to me on the camera, I told him to zoom in on it. And he zoomed in on it as much as he could. And I said, okay, now move it over so I can see where it's going. And he moved it over as much as he possibly could. And you can see it. And the next word, and Tom will attest to this, the next words out of my mouth were, take me to this spot. Show me where you took this picture. Because I was excited. And so he showed me, he took me to the exact spot that he was standing when he took the picture. He told me where to look to see where the lens was pointed at. And this is where I took the picture. This is where I was standing. And this is the direction. And when I looked at the picture that he got, I looked at the area, there was some green at the top of the screen, or at the top of the stairs, because we had a laser grid going. He's like, no, don't even try that. That laser grid was not here when I took this picture. We just moved that up here. And when we came back in, we had stopped the investigation and went into what we call a dormant stage, to where we go outside and talk and smoke a cigarette or whatever, and just let everything go by itself in the building. All our equipment goes by itself, and the entities are by themselves, and they just let them do what they want to do. Well, Tom was lead, so he said, after we get through with this dormant time, we're going to go back in and we're going to move some stuff around. I want to put the laser grid in this area with the camera, and I want to move this from this area. And that's what we did. We went in. And so he said, this wasn't here whenever I took this picture. So that can't be what it was, which I already knew it wasn't that. And there was some runners, some brass runners on the stairs. That's to hold the carpet down. You put them in the corner. It took us forever to remember what that was called. I think Tom was the one that finally come up with it. But the runners were on there, and I was like, that can't be a reflection off of them. That's not possible. Blah blah blah. We looked at it. Now, was that an orb in motion? No, it was not an orb in motion. An orb in motion does not change its shape, size, or integrity. An orb in motion stays that orb. It's that orb, but it moves, and it's going to be. Oh, it's hard to explain without a picture. I wish I had a picture of one. That orb in motion is not going to change its size, shape, or anything. It's just going to be moved. Could it be a streak? Yeah, it's going to be a streak a lot of times, because that's just the way. If you took a picture of an interstate, you're not going to see a bunch of dots, red dots going down the interstate. You're going to see a bunch of red streaks going down the interstate, because you got these cars passing you at 80 and 90 miles an hour. So it's when the camera frame takes the picture, it's going to take the picture in that moment that the car goes like this. So you're going to see a red streak, right? So same thing with an orb. That energy force is moving, but it's not going to change its integrity, and it's not going to change its size and shape or anything like that. What Tom took a picture of last night was it kind of started out down here and got more brilliant, and then went up into a circle, or to a semicircle to the left, like it was walking up the stairs and turning left. But that's all we were able to see. And Tom says, is that an orb in motion? I said, no, what you call it was an entity in motion. That's an actual entity in motion. John has also caught one of those before. And it's not an orb. It's not a orb in motion. It's an entity in motion. It's that entity was actually not trying to show any certain amount of itself at all. That's just what we were able to see at that time, that shutter opened and then snapped the picture. That's what we were able to see at that time. All right. Now, do they do that on purpose, or is that something that's only energy they had at the time? Nobody knows that. I can't answer that. That's like saying, why did Hitler turn out to be so bad? Nobody knows the answer to that. He's just an idiot. He's a piece of crap, evil person. So you don't know the answer to it. You just, that's who he was, right? And all right, let me go back and catch up with some of y'all's comments here so I can. Could an orb be the energy being collected by an entity? Absolutely, it can, John. That's a very good question. So could that orb that's forming in front of us, let's say it's not in motion, it could be in motion or it could be still. Either way, it doesn't matter. Could that, at that moment when we took that picture or we did that video, or if you saw it with your own eyes? Last night I didn't actually see it, but a couple of team members saw an orb in motion with their eyes, not from a film or a camera. They saw it with their naked eye. And was that not an orb? Yeah, it was still an orb, just because it's not caught on film or camera or video or still shot camera doesn't mean it's not an orb. It's just they got to see it. My favorite orbs are the ones that you see with your eyes. Yeah, I don't get a piece of evidence from it, except for I can tell people I saw it. But it's my favorite because I get to actually witness it, and I know what I saw, so I'm good with it. So they actually saw that. So now, can that orb be? Let's go back to his question. Could an orb be the energy being collected by an entity? Yes, that orb can actually be the energy that entity is allowing you to show. It could be the energy that's all the energy that entity had at the time. Or it can be the manifestation of a collection of energy. If I said no to that question, John, then I would have to wipe out everything I've ever said about cold spots, right? I mean, wouldn't I? Because whenever I said, why do we have a cold spot? When we've eliminated the possibility of just this one spot of the room right here is cold, and we've eliminated a source all the way 360 degrees around it, there's no source, it's just cold right there, then if that one little spot right here is cold, then that's what that is. That is the removal of energy. That's an entity taking energy away from the atmosphere and leaving that. And what happens when we take energy away from something? It gets cold. Just like if we add energy to something, it gets warm, right? We're adding something to it. So it's going to be warmer. There's going to be more energy there. Energy equals heat, right? Energy equals action and reaction, right? Absence of energy equals non-reaction, all right? Non-action and non-reaction. If you don't believe me, stay up 2 days and then go to sleep for 1 hour and then try to get out of bed. You don't want to do it, right? You didn't get enough sleep. You don't have enough energy, all right? Get that energy moving or collecting or anything like that, then yes, that could be a collection of energy but we just happen to get a shot of it. Can you tell the difference between when the entity is using the amount of energy they have, when the entity is using the amount of energy they want to use, when the entity is using the amount of energy because of their collection of energy, or whenever they're using the amount of energy they have whenever they're taking away the amount of energy? Absolutely not. You cannot tell that. There's no way to know that. But the effect is still the same. Anytime we displace energy, whether we're taking it away or adding it to, there's going to be an equal or greater reaction. We already know that, right? All right. Anybody that did 5th grade science, we know that, right? So anytime we're taking away or adding energy, anytime we're displacing energy in any way, right? Whether we're giving it to something or we're taking it away, there's always an equal or greater reaction than what was there before, right? So it doesn't matter how it's manipulating the energy. The point is that it is manipulating the energy. So therefore, that's going to cause something to happen. And that's going to be whatever that entity wanted to happen. If it wanted you to see it, then that's what's going to happen. If it wanted to slam that door that you knew was open, then that's what's going to happen. If it wanted to turn the light on, if it wanted to give you an EVP, if it wanted to pull your hair, scratch your back, or scratch blood trails into your neck, or throw a picture at your face, that's what's going to happen. All right. That energy is being able to, they're projecting and focusing that energy on that thing. Another question people always ask me is, well, okay, well, if mental pareidoia is our brain's reaction to a situation that an entity is causing through the amount or lack of energy, then how does that entity know how to affect our brain? Same way we know how to investigate the paranormal. Trial and error. All right. Who watched Ghost? Show of hands. All right, you did. You never watched Ghost? Seriously? Well, get your hand up then. God, you're always slow. You're on page 20 again. All right. All right, come back. All right, okay. So everybody's seen Ghost then, right? All right. So remember the part where he's in the subway and he finally finds a spirit that'll talk to him, and a spirit that's pretty strong, much stronger than he is. Excuse me. And the spirit doesn't want him on his train. You remember that? He pushes him off his train. He won't let him haunt that train. He says, "This is my train. I haunt this train. You can't come in here." Well, he leaves. He gets scared and leaves. But then finally he decides, you know what? I'm not giving up. You're going to help me. So he goes on the train. And he says, "I'm not leaving until you help me." And he says, "Okay, fine. If you'll leave, I'll help you if you leave and never come back." And so he says, "That's fine. I'll do that if you just help me." So then he spent the next hours and hours and hours training Patrick Swayze on how to thump a freaking
bottle cap, off of a newspaper stand or whatever that was, and across the floor or whatever. And he's sitting there, and Patrick Swayze's like thumping, but he's going right through the cap. Remember, he doesn't have a meat suit anymore. All right. Even though he's just trying to use this little bit of his finger, just tip of his finger, he still needs that energy because there's no tip of a finger there anymore, right? That's just energy form of what it used to be. So when he's trying to thump that, I don't know if y'all can see that little blue dot right there, but if you can, then that's what he's trying to thump that little blue dot. He's trying to thump it, but he can't do it. He's just going right through it like my finger is, just going right through it, and he can't thump it, right? Until he finally gets up enough energy. The guy keeps telling him, he says, you're trying to hit it with your finger. You're trying to thump that cap with your finger. You don't have a freaking finger anymore. You can't thump it with your finger anymore. You don't have a finger. It's got to come from in here, and it's got to come from in here, and you got to push that stuff up. And you got to bring it all up at one time and focus it. And that's what they do. They take all of that energy, all of that pissed off because I'm dead, or mad because I was killed, or happy because I'm not, I can haunt people now, or sad because I miss my family, whatever those emotions are, whatever the cause or the source, whatever the source of that energy is, they're going to take all of that up. Now, can different entities draw up more or less energy? 100% yes, absolutely. We see that all the time. How many times, another show of hands for the team members, how many times have we been on investigations and we 20 minutes or an hour into it, we figure out there's more than one here. This is a multi-entity case. And most likely what's happening is we've got a greater energy holding other energies here. Why would they do that? Why would an entity hold other entities there? So that they can feed off of them, so that they can use their energy too. All right. It's not always that, because sometimes that greater energy is so much more powerful. It doesn't need them on there. It just doesn't want to be alone. It has to be the leader of the pack, the head cheese. It has to be that. So that could be a case too, but 9 times out of 10 in that situation, that's what it is. It's an energy bank. They're holding them there for the energy. So mental paradoria is the amount of energy that they use, whether it be that's all they have or that's what they choose to do, and how that affects the way we perceive it. All right. And they learn, just like Patrick Swayze did. He had to sit there and thump that damn bottle cap a lot of times before he figured out, okay, I'm not thumping with my finger. I don't have a finger anymore. I'm thumping with my energy. All right. I'm thumping that cap. That's what I need to hit that cap with, not a thumb or not a finger or a fingernail. I need to hit it with energy focused into that finger. All right. And it takes time for them to learn that. They have to figure that out. I'm sure that's very difficult. All right. I was told that I had to really relearn how to walk. I was paralyzed for 2 years, and I was told I had to relearn how to walk. And I laughed at the guy. I told him, I said, I know how to friggin' walk. 30 years old, man. I know how to friggin' walk. You have to tell me you're going to teach me how to walk. You're out of your mind. He just laughed and left. I didn't know it at the time, but he didn't leave. He went out to the nurse's station to wait. A few minutes later, he hears a bell, and he comes back in there, and Johnny's sitting on the floor, laying in the floor, pulling on the nurse's string next to my bed. There's a little string that hung from the wall next to my bed, and I'm pulling on it, saying, come get me, come help me. I can't, I'm on the floor. I've fallen and I can't get up. And he's just laughing at me. He's like, yeah, it happens every time. Because when he told me I couldn't walk again, I was like, you're out of your damn mind. I can walk. I learned how to walk when I was a toddler. What do you mean? I'm 30 freaking years old. As soon as he leaves, I'm in there cussing him. I'm like, you little jerk, telling me I can't walk. You must be out of your mind. I can walk out of here and put my foot in your ass if you want to tell me I can't. Well, you want to tell me I can't walk? Nobody's scared of you talking about I can't walk. I'll see how you can run. So I get out of bed. I'm like, I'm a man, dadgummit. I get out of bed, pull them covers back, throw my legs over, stand up, and then all of a sudden, I was introduced to our old friend Gravity. And the next thing I knew, Johnny was a pile of potatoes in the floor. The legs did not do what I told them to do. I sent a message from my want to my brain, and that message was supposed to be sent from my brain down to my legs that tells them to stand and move. Somewhere in between there, it got messed up. And it turned stand and move into collapse and fold. And that's exactly what happened. So I had to relearn. I had to be taught how to do something again that I already knew how to do. But I didn't have it. I didn't have it in here. He had to be taught how to thump a bottle cap across a floor, something as mediocre as that. Had to thump that bottle cap. Well, I can thump. I know how to thump. I know how to take my index finger or my pointer finger and my thumb and put them together and boom, thump. I know how to do that. Well, not anymore, you don't, because you don't have a thumb or an index finger. They're gone. Right? You got to figure out another way to do that. You got to harness that energy. And they figure that out. They figure out what kind of energy it takes to make whatever situation they want to make happen. If their situation is to thump a beer bottle cap across the concrete in the subway station in New York, then that's what they're going to do. They're going to learn how to do that. If they want their great grandchild to see them as they were, then that's what's going to happen. All right. Or if they're wanting if they're a dark entity and they want I don't think I've forgotten about you, Eric. I have not forgotten about you. Okay. I'm still going to answer that question. I just hadn't gotten there yet, but I'm fixing to. That's why I said it. If they're wanting to portray themselves as a little girl, but it's not really a little girl, I've had that situation happen to me before. Bone Hospital, Selma, Alabama, 2006, I believe it was. We're in there doing an investigation, and a little girl kept following us around. We found out later that little girl was not a little girl. That's just what it perceived itself to be. It wasn't demonic either, but it was dark. It was very dark. It knew the amount of energy it needed to use, the type of energy and the amount of energy it needed to use to perceive us, to persuade us to see that little girl. All right. It's no magic that they have. It's just something they've learned to do. All right. There's no extra ability there. All right. That's just, they've learned, they've manipulated enough humans to where they can say, I hate saying humans because that makes it sound like they're not human, because they are. They're still human. They just don't have a meat suit to walk around in anymore. But the living, let's say that. They've manipulated enough of the living to where they know the energy that it takes, the type and the amount of energy it takes to do whatever it is they want to do. And so they know that doing this and doing it this way and focusing here and doing this energy, they know that that's going to trigger that mental paradoria into showing them that of which they want them to see. All right. Now, earlier when we first started way back, I believe it was Eric that asked the question, what if it's a demonic? Remember what I always say about, what's the first thing I always say? Anybody? What's the first thing I always say when it comes to demonics? And I'm going to get to y'all's comments too, I promise you. Come on, somebody tell me what's the first thing I always say whenever someone asks about demonics. Let me get back here and see how y'all. Hello, Jose. I'm trying to get back to where. It was the front one, John. The front staircase. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get, while y'all are answering that question, I can't see your comments on the bottom yet, but y'all answer that question. Whoever knows, what's the first thing I always say when it comes to demonics? Okay, here, I remember seeing that. See the picture of Johnny. I can send it once I get it off the camera. Okay, cool. Team member and the client. Ouch. Okay, I'll do that. I'll circle it. So, let's see. It's a picture. Like a white monkey. You can have to see it. Like a white monkey. Cool. I can't wait to see that one, David. Was it the carpeted? Yeah, I already answered that. It was the carpeted stairs in the front, John. It would seem to me the concentration of energy would excite the electrons and cause light. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly it, John. And they've manipulated that enough to know that that's how they need to do that. One night, me and a cousin heard someone say, "I'd rather be dead." I told my cousin why he said that. He said, "I thought you said it." Why'd you say that? Oh, I thought you said it. Sent you a photo of the photo. You sent me a photo. All right, somebody, John or Tom, text me, or messenger me hi. I can't go back to the photo to messenger until someone texts me without turning off YouTube. Someone has to message me first. John, it was the wooden stairway. Yeah, the wooden stairway. It has still got that rug on it though with the runners. That's the original front of the house. Yeah, it's the original area of the house. Human spirit or human entity. Oh, that's a perfect example of Paradoria. Oh yeah, I got it. Tom, that is so perfect, man. I can't show it on here though. All right, John was the only one to answer. He said, "Get out." No, that's not the first thing I say when people ask me about. That's the first thing I say if it's in a house, but that's not what I said. I said, "What's the first thing I say?" Yep. What's the first thing I say when people ask me about that? Heard lots of footsteps on that stairway during that photo shoot. We sure did, man. While we were standing there, we heard footsteps and creaking. I mean, while we were actually on that staircase. All right, the first thing I always say when it comes to demonics, so no one answered it. The first thing I always say when someone asks about demonics, John said, "Get out." That's the first thing I say whenever we're in an investigation and I think there's a demonic there. I tell everyone to get out, except for me. But whenever someone asks me about demonics, the first thing out of my mouth is, when it comes to a demonic, all the rules change. All right, everything is different. A demonic is a demonic is a demonic. All right, I'll answer that question in just a minute, David. Good question. But it's demonics change all the rules. All right. Can a demonic show itself as a little girl? Can a demonic show itself as a dead relative? Can the demonic show itself as a lizard-faced demon? Can the demonic show itself as a goat-headed horned being? Demonics, remember, if you believe in demonics, then you have to believe in Christianity. You have to believe in God. All right. We can't have heaven without hell. We can't have yin without yang or bad without good. All right. We have to have it. You can't have it one way. That's why some paganisms just freak me out, because I'm like, you're complete, not freak me out as far as it scares me, but freaks me out as on how can you be that stupid? Because of some paganism, not all paganism, but some traditional paganisms believes in evil, but it does not believe in good. That's the whole point of their name, people against goodness and niceness. But they don't believe in the heaven sense, but they do believe in the hell sense. So that's kind of stupid to me. You can't have one without the other. So, but anyway, don't get me into that part. But where did the demons come from? We also had this question posed to me, well, a statement posed to me. It says where a guy was asking about what this was. Well, he had went through this whole spiel about an experience that he had and then asked what it could be, and then there was a person on there that told him that it was uh, probably a relative that's now an angel and watching over him. And I asked that person a question. I said, well, which one is it, a dead relative or an angel? And the person said both. And I said, nope, not possible. We don't become angels. And I hate to say that sometimes, because sometimes people don't realize that we actually do not become angels. We can't become angels. And I know that sucks. Like if someone's child dies and they the first thing out of their mouth is always, well, God needed another angel, and that makes them feel good, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I would never be that asshole that would stand there and say, no, actually he didn't. That's not possible. I wouldn't do that, of course. That made them feel better. Than, of course, whatever. Okay. I'm not going to rain on their parade whenever that makes them get that little bit of extra feel good, so they can cope with what's going on, because I have lost a child, and it's the worst, most horriblest thing in the world. So when when you hear people say, well, God needed another angel, or God needed another angel to sing in the choir, or now we have a guardian angel to watch over us. No, you don't. Humans can't become angels. Okay. Not possible. We're different from the angels. That's why God and Beelzebub got in a fight in the first place. That's why they got in this whole argument about God loving his little pets more than he did them. All right. Is because he didn't want anything to be above him. Satan wanted to be the number one dog. Lucifer wanted to be the man. And when God said, no, you're not, I'm putting humans, are in the likeness of me. I created them in the likeness of me. And he's like, well, God's like, they're like my children, and Satan's like, no, I want to be the top dog. I want to be the one you love the most. And he's like, well, it's not going to happen. So Satan says, well, I'll just take over. And God said, no, you won't. Bye. And so he took him and anybody that agreed with him and said, goodbye, get out, you got to go. And he gave them dominion over the earth, right? He said Satan and all them of this, and he sent Satan to the earth, and he gave him power over the earth. All right. So that everything changes when it comes to demonics. They can do stuff that entities can't do, that human entities can't do. Because they have power over the earth. They do have those special powers, right? That's a totally different thing. All right. Let me catch up with y'all's questions and comments. But I did see a couple of. Let's see, I read that. Why do some people have vivid dreams of someone that just died? Are they really visiting you? Good question, David. Yes and no. Can an entity affect your dreams? That's a hard one to answer, because it doesn't take any special powers or abilities to affect a dream. All right. You can meditate about something and then dream about it. All right. You can control what you dream about. You can actually think about something and meditate on that one thing so much that you dream about it. That's the whole thing, the whole basis of out of body experiences, on how to experience an out of body experience, is you meditate on something and you study on something and you think about something so much to when you go to sleep, that's what you're going to dream. Now, there's a whole different avenue of different thoughts on, are you really having a bad out of body experience, or are you just dreaming about it because that's what you was meditating? Who knows? Who cares? It's still cool as hell, because I've done it and it's cool as crap. All right. If you haven't done that, if you don't know how to meditate, I'm thinking about doing a class on that, by the way. But get into meditation, study meditation, figure out what works best for you, and then do the whole out of body experience. It is freaking phenomenal. Whether it's just a dream or not, it's still cool as crap. All right. So we do have the ability to affect dreams. Doctors and psychiatrists have the ability to affect people, willing people who are open to be hypnotized, and they can put those people in dream states and then ask them questions. They do it all the time. Past experience recognition, where they put you under and hypnotize you into remembering stuff that you didn't remember. They're not really hypnotizing you. They're putting you in that dream state, and you're dreaming about something that already happened. You're replaying a movie in your head, and you're able to answer questions about it. All right. So we can't affect how we dream and what we dream. and I can affect what you dream and how you, and just by continuing, to do this, to talk to you and to put you in that trance-like state, and to where you're open and you're vulnerable, and I can manipulate you and um, give you suggestions and stuff like that. All right. Um, so can it affect your dreaming? I guess if it knows how to direct energy enough to you to see a full body image of it, or it's just its space, or if you smell it or feel it or hear it or whatever, then I would have to say possibly. Possibly. You would have to be really open to it. Now, is every time we see an entity after someone that we really love and care about, and whether it be a family member or a friend passes away, and then we have a dream about them, is that every time that happens, is that an entity? No, of course not. A lot of times when that happens, that is just us dreaming about that person. Maybe our brain has decided, um, we have self-defense mechanisms in our brain. Our brain will do stuff just to protect us, not just physically, but mentally as well. If our brain thinks that it's fixing to lose it, if it can't handle what's going on, the situation that's happening, then can it give it a dream to where that entity, or that, I don't want to say entity, but that relative comes back and says, hey, I'm okay. You need to quit freaking out and crying and being all depressed. I'm great. I'm chilling up here in heaven, having a great time. You're crying about me all the time. I have to come down here to the cloud and check you out. It's really, you're messing with my vibe, bruh. Don't do that no more. Chill out. We're going to see each other again. Just chill. And then you hear people that all the time that had those dreams, and it's like, oh man, I feel so much better because now I know that my mom is in a good place. She came to me at that, the night after she died and told me. Um, Now, when is there an exception to that rule that it could be or couldn't be? When you don't know that they're dead, right? I know y'all have heard of situations, I know I have, where you heard of someone that had a dream about someone. They came to him and says, hey, everything's cool. I'm going to be okay. Don't freak out. I'm good. I just wanted you to know that. And then they wake up and they're like, oh my God, that was so real. I need to call and, check, make sure everything's okay. And then they pick up the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning. They call and say, hey, mom, and this is a true story, by the way. Um, Mom, is dad all right? I know it's really late. I'm sorry to wake you, but dad's cool, right? She says, yeah, baby, he's asleep next to me. Will you please go to sleep? Why are you calling at 2 o'clock in the morning? Call him in the morning. He gets up at 9. Call him and ask him if he's okay then. Don't wake me up. Mom, I know it's stupid, it's silly, but I just have a feeling, and I had a dream, and it freaked me out, and I can't come crawling to bed with you guys. So could you please just put your hand on dad's arm or his shoulder and just shake him, and he don't have to wake him up. Just make him grunt or move or something. Just make sure he's okay. The next words in that phone call were, oh my God, baby, he's cold as ice. Dad had been dead for several hours. She didn't know she was sleeping next to her dead husband until her daughter called and said, hey, check on dad. Now, how can that be pareidolia, mental pareidolia, when she didn't even know he was dead? It can't be. The brain's not making up a situation to where you need to be protected. It doesn't do that. It protects you whenever the situation arises. Right? Or it makes something up whenever that situation arises. That girl didn't go to bed that night thinking, my dad's going to die. I need to protect myself mentally. That didn't happen. She went to bed thinking what she was going to do tomorrow at work, or, what she had to do to get the kids ready for school, or whatever she was thinking. That's what she went to bed thinking. In the middle of the night, she gets this dream of her dad coming and saying, hey, I'm cool. Don't freak out. Everything's good. So to me, that can never be a mental paranoia situation. That's going to be an entity situation 100% of the time. That entity knows that relative, that loved one, is going to freak the hell out when they hear what happened, and they're going to just lose it. So they're saying, I'm going to go to them and tell them before they even get the news. I'm going to go and tell them, bruh, I'm good. Everything's cool with me. Okay. I know it sucks that I'm dead. I know you're going to be sad, but don't freak out. We're going to see each other again. Everything's cool. All right. And so then they wake up and they're like, oh, that was a horrible dream. I dreamed my dad died. That's horrible. Oh. That actually hurt to say that because my dad did die. That sucks. And I didn't get to see you. And he didn't come to me. That sucks. Dad, I'm mad at you. But, she didn't get that chance, to be prepared for it. So he knew that. So he says, I'm gonna go check him, check on her and say, hey, everything's cool. I'm good. I know I'm dead, but yeah, I'm good. And so when she wakes up and she's like, that was so real, I need to call. She finds out, yeah, Dad's been dead for several hours. So that can't be paranoia, mental paranoia. It can't be. I mean, because there's no reason for the brain to do that right before it even happens, right? So now if Dad's had cancer for 20 years or 10 years or 4 years and they've been waiting for him to die and praying that it doesn't happen, but wishing it would, so he would be out of pain and suffering. And then before it happens, now then that could be paranoia, mental paranoia, because that person is mentally preparing themselves for the, ultimate outcome that they know is going to happen any minute, any time now. All right. All right. Let me catch up with y'all here. I think we're fixing to call it. Picture, it's awesome. That picture is awesome. Do angels and Democrats have souls? No and no. Angels don't have to have souls. Angels are energy form already. All right. Democrats, they're not born with souls. They're the only Homo sapiens without souls. Kind of, but that's a pseudoscience too, because we're not quite sure if they are Homo sapiens or not. All right, do you have any idea how tough it was to pass that up, John? I nearly killed me. He nearly killed him to pass it up, and John just said, screw it, I'm going to do it. I told you about my dream about my dad died. It wasn't even about my dad. Yeah. Yeah. Real or mental paranoia? In my opinion, that would be real. That wouldn't be mental paranoia. If I'm remembering what you said correctly. But you know how my memory is. So, all right. Is there any more questions? I hope I explained that in a way that you can understand it, and I'm not saying that. I hate saying it when I say that. It just makes me feel like I'm calling everyone stupid, and I'm not. I'm saying that sometimes I'm too stupid to explain what I'm trying to say. All right. Um, but if you guys ever have any questions, oh, visiting your grandmother. Okay, yeah. Yeah. But if you guys ever have any questions on anything, please feel free. I mean, I get calls, texts, emails, all that stuff all the time. All right. You're not going to hurt my feelings or anything. If you have any questions on anything about the show or something you didn't understand or something that you disagree with, I welcome that. Anytime you guys want to debate anything, I've learned stuff through debating. I really have. I've I've uh I've changed my mind about stuff through debate. As a matter of fact, it's pretty damn hard to get me to do that, but it is possible because it's happened. Um, but yeah, it if you guys ever want to debate anything, if you just, and I'm not saying if you want to come on and argue me down or anything like that. If I say anything you don't agree with, I welcome you to come on and say it, and please be open about it. All right. I'd hate for you to just leave and say, well, I'm not listening to this jerk off anymore. He doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about. That's to me, that's a coward way to respond to that. Instead of saying that, I keep getting knocked offline, raining hard here. I'm sorry. It actually hasn't even started raining here. Or it's, at least it's not raining hard enough to where I can hear it up here. It has to rain pretty hard for me to hear it in my room. But when you're downstairs, for some reason, you hear it really good. You'd think it would be the opposite, but no. When I'm upstairs in my room, I can't hardly hear it when it's raining. There's been times that it's rained pretty hard, and I didn't know it until I walked outside. But yeah. Anytime you guys have any questions or anything like that, and like I said, I'd be more upset that if you just stop watching altogether instead of coming on. I may change your mind. You never know. You may change my mind. All right. So anytime you want to, if you have a question or concern or a disagreement with me on anything that I say on any of the shows, please, or a class or whatever, please sound out. Let me know and I will debate you on it. I promise you I will. I never have a problem doing that. I love you guys so much. You just don't know how much I love you. Um, Once again, if you guys can help out our family that lost everything in the fire in any way financially, please let us know. Contact me, John, Tom, Eric, Michelle, or Beth, and we will definitely get you set up on doing that. If you want to send cash or a check, or if you want to use the Cash App, contact Beth only. And just like I said, it's just better whenever you got like a check and it needs to be done. It's much better for that check to go through as few hands as possible because that stuff like that can freaking get lost. All right. So be careful with, we want to be careful with that. So if you have a check, cash, or you want to do Cash App, contact Beth. Nobody else on the team. Don't contact me, contact Beth. If you contact me, John, Tom, Eric, Michelle, whatever, they're probably going to say, well, you need to call Beth on that one. Let me get you her email. All right. So, if you guys can help in any way, and like I said, I don't care if it's $5. Right now, that's what we're needing right now is some moolah. Thank you, John. He just posted everybody's email there. Or mine, his and Beth's anyway. But yeah, just contact any of us on Facebook or whatever, and we'll definitely accept whatever you can do. If you only can give $5, then hey, you're going to get blessed for that $5. If you can give 500 or 5,000, you're going to get blessed for that 500 or 5,000. All right. God doesn't bless you from the amount you gave. He blesses you from the amount that you could give. All right. Always remember that. You don't get more blessing because you donated $5,000. All right. And then everybody else donated five. You're not going to get more of a blessing from them. Everybody's going to get that blessing for what they could do. All right. So if all you can do is $5, you're still getting them just as much of a blessing. All right. So if y'all can help out in any way, please do, because we just need to get this. Hopefully, cross fingers, everything will work out tomorrow and they'll get this house and we'll have the money to get them in there and get all the deposits paid and get their lives back together. So that's our biggest thing. And these kids can have a Christmas, a Merry Christmas. So yeah, let's do the best that we can. We love you guys so much. We will do a class after January 5th. If we get enough people, if not, then it's going to be March during the first 2021 CAPI camp. All right. We're still going to do the book that should be coming up pretty soon. I think Beth's got all the bugs worked out on that. She said after the first of the year, right? So I think right after the first of the year, we're going to be getting on that. We love you guys so freaking much. You just don't know how much. Oh, one more thing. I still need 2 investigators. Dun, dun, dun. I need 2 investigators. All right. So please hit me up if you're interested. If you live anywhere in the state of Alabama and you want to be an investigator with CAPI, you want to be on the team, then please hit me up, hit John up, hit Beth up. Let us know. We will definitely get you started on that path. We need two more investigators. If I can get 2 more, and we won't have to worry about anything. We love you guys so very much. I want you to do me a huge favor sometime this coming week. I want you to make at least one person in this world smile real big. I don't care how you have to do it. Just make them smile. All right. Do whatever it takes. We love you guys so much. We want you to have a paranormal week. We will see you in 2021. All right. Thanks so much. Everyone have a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. And we will see you guys January 5th. God bless.